Today, we are joined by Noah and Nicole Stratton, the creative team behind the brand new stage production of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And this is at the Museum of the Bible right now. Their passion for storytelling and their heart for the gospel have brought this C.S. Lewis classic to life in a whole new way. So, getting started, if you could actually step through the wardrobe into Narnia, what's the first thing that you would want to do or see?
What a great question. No one has ever asked us this
Yeah, I
question.
think
This
that's
is
the
great.
first time. But one thing comes immediately to mind. I would want to run and try to find Aslan.
Aslan. I was just going to say that. Yep.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I think in the last battle, when they get that feeling of seeing him and they're running with him and they're going further up and further in, that moment is just incredible.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree.
yeah. The more we've done Narnia, the more you get to love Aslan. And then what's so cool is Nicole's dad is the voice of Aslan, and he
Oh,
passed
that's
away
awesome.
a couple of years ago. So there's even kind of more connection for Aslan for us. Of course, who represents representing Jesus Christ, and that's who we're excited to see. But if
Amen.
it's going into the wardrobe, I'd want to go find Aslan.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
sure.
Was he the voice like in the movie of Aslan?
So he was actually the voice of our stage shows. We cast him, and I didn't even know he was sick when we cast him for it. And he was
Um,
so perfect, and he did a great job. And then he got sick. Well, we realized he was sick, and then the Lord woke me up one morning with the thought of get your dad in the studio, record him for all the rest of the books. So I got his voice as Aslan through all the way through the last battle. So as we go through and create more shows, he'll be with us and have his voice as a consistent
oh,
character,
that
which
makes it so much more special, I'm sure.
Yeah, really
when
does.
we were in the studio and he was recording the last battle, and we knew that he was not going to make it and he wouldn't be with us when we did the other books. He got to that line where he says, further up and further in, whoo, I cried thinking about it. It was very, very special to have that moment with him in the studio.
Oh, I can't imagine. That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry that
Mm.
y'all had to go through him being sick and everything, but what a special way to
Yeah,
for his legacy to live on. That's
Right.
so sweet.
it really is. Yeah.
So, what inspired y'all to bring The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe to the stage, and why now?
So it's kind of funny. Nicole, my wife, she's our main artistic director, and she always said, way back in the day, that we would never do Narnia, never touch it with a 10-foot pole. All the
Yeah.
imagination, all the brilliance of Lewis's writings, trying to bring that to the stage would be too hard. The fans are very passionate about Narnia, and we didn't want to, cause any uproar there. But again, never say never. Lord has a strange way of kind of bringing you around in a lot of
Yeah.
ways, and so that's a long story, but where we came back to the point, and one of our big things was figuring out Aslan. Could we do something that was powerful, majestic, um, uh, I guess complementary to who he is in the books, but then of course who he's representing. We didn't want a guy walking out in a fur coat. We wanted something more, and so that was the big piece to figure out, and that launched us into the world of the large scale stage puppetry that we've done. Yeah, but then so we have done actually a couple of other Narnia productions before this one. We've done The Horse and His Boy. We've done Prince Caspian. This is actually the third one we've done in the 7-book series, and a long story behind that. But there's another company that had kind of the rights to it here in America. We had been working directly with the C.S. Lewis company for the other two, and then had to work with this other company, and it just took a while to kind of work all those lovely logistics and legal things out, and thankfully we're able to get it worked out. So that's kind of a logistical reason of why now
Took us a
for
little
Language in the
longer.
Wardrobe. It took us longer to get kind of the rights for it. When the
Mhm.
other ones were a little more simple to get directly working with C.S. Lewis Company. But yeah, Lord has a way of turning everything around on you sometimes.
I'm just so glad that we got to do this one now because this one is so popular. Everybody knows this one more than any of the other books, but it has the strongest gospel message in it as well.
Mm.
And so we just kept, really pursuing that. And thankfully, as we've been doing the Narnia shows, the other ones, the notoriety of the shows were growing, and that helped us to be able to make the deal to be able to bring a larger scale. They've got, stage adaptations of Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, but not one that is this robust. And so it was a great partnership between us and Dramatic Publishing Company and the C.S. Lewis company. We got all together and were able to make this deal. And so it's the largest telling of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe anywhere in the United States. And so the fact that our company gets to do that was just really special. And
Yeah.
So yeah, it really does not, you're not going to miss anything in the book. It's not, super pared down. It's really full scale. So it's been a joy to do it here in DC. We've done it in Branson, and we're about to finish our run here in DC and then go back to Branson for another.
Awesome. That's
Yep.
very cool. Branson's closer to me, so I could probably make it up there.
Yeah.
Come
Come to
see us. We
Branson.
love
Yeah.
it.
That's
It's really
awesome.
great. The former Lawrence Welk Theater there in Branson is where we're going to
Oh,
be.
cool.
Mhm.
So if anybody happens to hear, then go to narniabranson.com
Yeah.
and get tickets.
Oh, sweet. Okay, good. Good to know.
Yep.
So, what do you hope the audiences experience spiritually when they see this production?
I really pray that, as I was working on the script, what really was just hitting me, there's so many amazing messages that Lewis weaves through all of his books. But I feel like this one is such that the overcoming sense of that Jesus Christ has conquered sin and death and has won the victory. And that is a very strong theme through this of redemption. And, as you're watching Edmund's journey of just the redemption of it, and also the growth of all the other Pevensies, it's so powerful. Here we start in a section of the show. We actually start it with the raids on London, and so you're seeing these children being evacuated from London, and they're trying to escape a war. And when they meet Aslan, Aslan leads them into a battle, and he helps them grow to the point where they can actually fight and battle evil themselves, and sends them back really changed children. And so I pray the power of the Lord, the Holy Spirit is felt throughout the whole production, but that people really see that Jesus Christ is the answer. He has conquered sin and death and has won the victory for us. So that's really powerfully done. I feel like through my favorite section always of this production in particular is the death and resurrection of Aslan. And that we tried to really just pull out all the stops to make that as powerful as we could.
That's incredible.
The point I hope people take away too, if people already do know the Lord, is that he's freed us not just from, is an old theological statement, that you're freed when because of what Christ has done for us on the cross and shed his blood, that we are freed from the punishment of sin in the past. We're freed from the power of sin in the present, and then we're freed from the presence of sin in the future. And so just the joys of that, not just saying, yay, he's done that for me in the past, but what it means for me today. Amen. And what it's going to mean for me for the future as well. So I hope audiences take that encouragement with them. That is hopefully a good inspiration and truth telling to those who don't know Jesus. But then if they do know Jesus, I hope there's a great encouragement of what he's doing for us right now and what we get to look forward to in the future.
I love that. That's awesome. So give us a sneak peek. What's one moment on the stage that still gives you chills?
Oh, man.
I mean, resurrection.
Yeah, the resurrection for sure. Yeah, it's still, we're normally in the production, but there are times we have to travel, and so we have understudies. There was one time I got to sit and just watch the whole production, and it was kind of mind-boggling. I kept feeling I needed to go get up and do something to help out, but just watching it, I've been in the production over 100 times, but just sitting there watching it's so powerful when he dies in the place there of Edmund the traitor, and then when he rises again. It's just such a great moment. So he's a 10-foot long, 6-foot tall stage lion puppet run by 3 people. He's up on the stone table. He's been killed. He vanishes in a puff of smoke and appears almost immediately in the back of the auditorium, roars, and comes running down the aisle.
Yeah, so audiences are still just like...
They're not sure what to do with it. It's great.
We're all sworn to secrecy because the whole entire stone table scene is a magic trick. Like everything we're doing is important, and it all plays together to making that one trick happen. And we really got together as an artistic team who said, look, we don't want anybody to know how we did this. We want it to feel so magical that it actually, because it really did happen. Christ does die and he does truly resurrect. And so when Aslan is this picture of that, we didn't want him to go like, oh, we know how you did that. We wanted the audiences just to be floored and shocked that he's behind them and they just saw him disappear. So that's probably my favorite part. And then also too, there's some really neat moments, I feel like, at the beginning of the show, just to bring you into the world of what it felt like, because I think we all feel this at different times where the world is, so much is happening and there's so much, I don't know, it just feels like things are churning and danger is around you at different times. And it can feel discouraging even. And I look back on those times even in London where they're being bombed and all this stuff's happening. I think that the visuals of that at the beginning of the show and how much we immerse you immediately into this intense thing. There's a train on stage and people are like, what in the world? And, you know, we're going from the bombing into a train station, very, very quick movements, transitions. And I enjoy directing to where it's more cinematic. So I love my transitions to be, you know, and the team does such a great job executing all the transitions. So I think that's a really neat moment of the show too. Just immediately immerse you into the world and then pull you into Narnia.
Yeah, I love that. And I feel like that's so important, you know, with the production that you're like capturing the audience right
Yeah.
away and bringing them into the world, you
Yeah.
know, into the
And
world of the show that they're watching.
And people nowadays are more used to film, so you do have to keep capturing and recapturing their attention and make it something that they want to come back and see it several times.
We heard that there are some incredible design elements in your show. You mentioned, you know, Aslan's puppet and that 3 people run it, but how did you bring his presence to life in a way that felt both, you know, theatrical but also sacred?
Nicole's amazing at combining elements. So, like Aslan, and I love how it is in Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. He's talked about quite a lot before you see him. It's over halfway through the book before he appears. So I love that. There's a lot of like you're talking about him, anticipation, and then but when he comes out, I think she did a masterful job. I mean, our guys did unbelievable. As far as we know, there's only a couple other companies in the world that are making these large scale puppets for like Broadway and other places like that. So we have guys on our own team that are making these, which is just phenomenal. So they're amazing in the craftsmanship of how he's been created. But then when he comes out on stage, Nicole like blocked it so well with him coming out, and then the music she kind of directs with music a lot as well. So there's very respectful, reverent, awe-inspiring music that comes as he walks in. How the people react to him. Normally, whenever he walks on stage, people clap because it's just he's a presence. And we also purposefully, the guys, he keeps a mark in his side, a wound in his side from when he paws, and then in his paws as well. So there's that. We keep that for even for ourselves, which is who he represents, is special for us.
And we also like to get him out into the audience. So whatever venue we're in, when he is in the Gethsemane part of the story where he's walking to the stone table that evening with Susan and Lucy, we actually take him off the stage and walk him through the audience. And so he's able to be close to the audience and they get to see. Really, you look at him on stage, you know he's big, but then he's right beside you. It's like, whoa, and you can feel the presence of the puppeteers. And I think that's a very poignant moment in the show. The puppeteers have brought him to life so well through the show. And then when he's on the stone table, there's a moment where the puppeteers leave him. And the head puppeteer who's been puppeting him the whole show looks at him and turns and walks away. And that moment, you see no puppeteers inside that puppet. You really get the sense that he is dead because the life of the puppeteers has been removed. And so that's really powerful for the audience too. And that connection, you're watching that puppeteer and the connection he has to that puppet. And when he turns and walks away, it's heart-wrenching. So then to see the puppet back alive and Aslan there roaring, and it's just really powerful.
Yeah, and it sounds like such a beautiful, thoughtful show, I mean, that you've put together and with something, you know, I mean, like you mentioned, Aslan is a representative of Jesus. And so with that, there does come so many more things in the background that you have to think about of like, how do we, like you mentioned, portray this reverence before he even comes onto the scene and this, you know, build up this anticipation for it. So I love hearing of all of that creative background that you guys really had to think through and put into this. And I think that just kind of speaks to y'all. I mean, in that this is something that you really poured excellence into and really thought about all of those details, which is what makes the best of the best shows, you know, the best. So where can people get tickets and experience The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe for themselves?
So if they, right now, we have this week and next week. So museumofthebible.org. They can go there and just look up Museum of the Bible, and it should be right there under events. And they'll get all the information there about dates and times and tickets and everything going on there. So Museum of the Bible, they can go to that. And then, like I said, we're about to go to Branson, Missouri. So that's NarniaBranson.com. They can go there as well. And then our website, they can go to the Logos Theater. GodTube.com, and that's that'll have information about where we're going, what's going on at our home base in South Carolina, and then our parent company, the academyofarts.org. So there's a number of places they can go to get information on all
it'll
those
be
things.
touring at the Ark Encounter as well. So it's been on a 14th month tour. So right now we're in DC. We go back to Branson. We'll go to the Ark Encounter, so they can go to the Ark Encounter as well to get tickets if they're close to Kentucky area.
Yep.
And then it'll finish its tour in South Carolina for the spring. So it's been 14 months of the same team out here traveling around the country and doing it. And that's been also the Lord doing that, because we started this 10 years ago doing Narnia, never dreamed that we would tour it, and then never dreamed that we would tour it this long. So
yeah.
I think if we even had the sponsors, we could start taking it on a national tour across the country, because there's just a desire for really great stories to be told and to bring your family and to have an experience like this. So it's an honor to be able to bring it to the country, and we're excited to see what God does with it, because this is bigger than we ever thought, and we're grateful for the team that's made it possible.
Yeah, that's right.
They work hard, and people know it's been done by a team it's a Christian company, and we've done it all from scratch. So all the costumes, the puppetry, the sets, everything that you see, we don't rent it from anywhere. We make it all from scratch and produce it together. So it takes a really amazing team, and then they give their lives to come out on the road and live like gypsies and perform this.
That's incredible. So, I mean, you're still going to be touring through the spring, but what's next for y'all? What's next to come?
Lots going on. It'll probably just get more busy from here, which is fine. We're trying to give hope and inspiration and point people back to the Lord through these things. And so, there's another script in the works that Nicole's working on. But we have a number of different shows we've already done that are not Narnia. We have Bible shows. We have historical productions. We're going to be doing our first Bible show at Museum of the Bible next spring. So we're super excited about that. Joseph, God Meant It for Good.
Awesome.
And it's amazing.
It is an awesome
go
show.
to Museum of the Bible, again, their website, Museum of the Bible. They'll have tickets up online pretty soon for that. So that one is coming. And then if you go back to Taylor, South Carolina, we've got a number of different productions happening there. But our goal is to keep going, keep doing these things out on the road for others, and then keep doing ththings at a home base. So very excited for the doors God is opening. And media is huge for us. I won't go into my whole spiel right now on media, but the devil has used media to absolutely destroy people's worldviews, change people's worldviews, while they're even going to church, going to a homeschool or Christian school, maybe have a decent family, but they're in media 10 to 12 hours a day, and they're getting a wrong worldview constantly from that. So we're really trying to reclaim those arts for Christ and speak into the culture through media. So onward and forward, further up and further in for us as we keep moving forward. Yeah.
I love that. Well, same here in our world, and I'm super grateful for y'all for taking the time to chat with us today. Excited to share this with our audience. So thanks so much for being on.
Thank you. We appreciate the opportunity.
Thanks for helping us spread the word.